Yay! It's another interesting basic science class with Miss Andres. Hello and welcome to this interesting science class. So, I want you to get your writing materials, be attentive, and don't forget to take down notes. What are we going to learn? Today we'll be learning about simple machines. We'll be knowing the meaning of simple machines. We'll be knowing different types of simple machines, and of course, common examples of simple machines around us. Now, what are simple machines? They are machines used to make work easier and faster. So any machine you use to make any work easier and also faster is known as a simple machine. They also make it easier to move load. What is a load? A load is any of the forces that a structure must oppose. They are also mechanical devices that change the direction and magnitude of force. So they change the direction where a force is going to. They can alter it, or they can change the size of a force. Now, there are some things we need to take note of. First of all, we need to know that a load is any of the forces that a structure must oppose. Then we have two types of load. We have unmoving force, which is the dead load. Then we have the life load, which is the moving force. So we have dead load, which is unmoving force, the force that is not moving. That's why it's a dead load. Then we have the life load, which is the force that is moving. Another thing we need to take note of is the meaning of a mechanical system. Now, a mechanical system is a complex collection of machines. So when you have many simple machines put together, what you have is what? A mechanical system, and they work together to perform a task. The another thing you need to take note of is the meaning of a mechanical advantage. Now, a mechanical advantage multiplies the effort force put into it. Now, we'll be looking at different types of simple machines. What did I say? Types of simple machines. And we have 6 types of simple machines. How many types? 6 types. Beautiful. And I have an acronym for it. And it is SLEEP2W. What did I say? SLEEP2W. Now, the sleep, S stands for screw. Repeat after me. Screw. L stands for lever. Can you repeat after me? Lever. I stands for inclined plane. Can you repeat after me? Inclined plane. P stands for pulley. Can you say it? Pulley. Then 2W, it means we have 2 W's. So the first one stands for wedge. Can you say it? Wedge. And the last but not the least is wheel and axle. Can you say it? Wheel and axle. So we have six types of simple machines: screw, lever, inclined plane, pulley, wedge, and wheel and axle. So we'll be looking at each of these simple machines. We'll be knowing what they are. We'll be knowing common examples of them, of these machines around us. So for this lesson, we'll be dwelling on just 5 simple machines. How many? 5 simple machines. So in our next lesson, we'll be dwelling on the last one. All right, we'll be starting with pulley. What did I say? Pulley. Now, what is a pulley? How can we describe a pulley? A pulley uses rope that runs between either fixed or movable wheels. Can you see the picture in front of you? This is a picture of a pulley. A pulley uses rope that runs between either fixed or movable wheels. So the wheels are either fixed, that means immovable, or they are movable. What are other things we need to know about a pulley? Now, the wheel portion, can you see the wheel portion in the picture in front of you? Is actually another type of machine which is called a wheel and axle. So by the time we'll be looking at wheel and axle, we'll talk more about this wheel. Now, what happens is a load will be attached to one end of the rope or the bottom of a pulley. Then the rope will run through, and at the other end of the rope is a person who pulls the rope through the system. So you have load attached to the end of the pulley, and you have another person at the other end pulling this rope, pulling it through. So the wheel and the axle, which is seen in front of you, allows the rope to move around it with minimal friction. So a pulley can be used to either reduce the effort required to lift a load, or change the direction that a force is applied in order to lift or move a load. So now, a pulley can be fixed, movable, or a combination of both fixed and movable. A fixed pulley is used to change the direction of a force, while a movable pulley is used to gain mechanical advantage. Remember what I said mechanical advantage is? I said mechanical advantage is how a machine multiplies the effort put into it. Looking at different examples of pulley around us. Now you can see a crane. A crane is used to lift objects. Now we can see a flagpole here. Now you can see a flagpole in front of you. When lifting a flag on a flagpole, a pulley is used to get the flag high along the shaft of the pole. Now you can see the shaft. You can see before this flag could be hung on a flagpole, a pulley was used to pull the flag up on the shaft. Now we also have well. You can see a child fetching water from the well. That child is using a pulley, a simple machine to fetch water from the well. We can also see a forklift, which is used at construction sites. We also have an elevator. An elevator uses pulley to reduce the weight required for the engine to ascend or descend. So basically, pulley has to do with pulling or lifting of objects or structures. So the next simple machine we'll be looking at is inclined plane. Now repeat after me, inclined plane. Now a plane that is inclined. An inclined plane is a flat, sloping surface that is used to make the job of moving heavy objects easier. Remember we said simple machines are machines that make work easier and faster. So when talking about an inclined plane, what common example comes to your mind? Your slide in school. Very good. Because of the sloping nature, an object can either go up or it can go down. An inclined plane, the slope makes it easier to push or pull. That means to apply force. Remember we said force is the push or pull of an object that changes its movement or shape. So with the slope, it makes it easier to push or pull the object. However, it can take time, because of the slopiness of the plane, but it is easier to push and pull, especially heavy objects. So we can see a man pushing objects up the slope. Then we can see a child sliding down the plane. Even sometimes when you want to push big objects, when you want to move big objects or structures into a lorry or a trailer, use an inclined plane because it makes it easier to push or pull objects. So you can see so many inclined plane in front of you. These are common examples around us. Now the next simple machine we'll be looking at is wedge. What did I say? Wedge. A wedge is two inclined planes placed together back to back. So when you have two inclined planes placed together back to back, what you have is a wedge. A wedge allows a person to push two objects apart with less force than will be required without any tool. So if you were to push the object all by yourself without using any tool, there will be much force, much effort applied. But when you are using a wedge, it just separates or push the object apart with lesser force and lesser effort. We have axe for splitting materials like wood. We have flathead screwdriver. We have forks. We have knives. We have spoons. Even our teeth, which they help us cut through food. So it helps us to split food apart and so on. So the next simple machine we'll be looking at is screw. Repeat after me, screw. Now a screw is a combination of the inclined plane and a wedge together. So, threads are wrapped around a cylindrical body that comes to a point at one end and a wedge at the other end. Now see this picture. You can see a screw in front of you. You can see lines around it. Those are threads that are wrapped around a cylindrical. Now the shape of this screw is cylindrical. Now what do we use screw for? Screws are used to join two pieces of material together, and they are also used to hold them together. Screws can tear through any material they are twisted into. They just use their sharp tip to puncture hole in the material. Then they use their wrapped inclined plane to slowly ease themselves deeper into the material. As it's being driven into the material, it helps to hold the materials together. Now, the last simple machine we'll be looking at is wheel and axle. Now, a wheel and axle has two parts. So we have the wheel and we have the axle. So the axle is a rod that goes through the wheel. Now, you can see it in this picture. You have the wheel, the circular part of the object you are seeing is the wheel. Then the axle is the rod that is attached that goes through the wheel. Now, this axle, it helps the wheel turn freely around the axle. Now, the wheel and axle makes it easier to move heavy object over long distances. Usually, wheel and axles are attached to large structures which hold the load. For example, you have a truck with four wheels. Now, these four wheels, axles are attached to it. Because of the axle and the wheel, it is able to move the truck over long distances, even when the truck is carrying heavy loads. The way a wheel is designed, it helps to create less friction between the ground and the material of the wheel. So we have so many examples of wheel and axle around us. We have toys with wheels, wheels found in the car tire. We have wheels found in the steering. We have door knobs. You can see the wheel and the axle. All right, we've come to the end of today's lesson, but before we call it a wrap, let's quickly give a summary of today's class. We started by talking about the meaning of simple machines. We said they are machines that make work easier and faster. Then we went ahead to talk about different types of simple machines. We have 6 of them. We have screw, we have lever, we have inclined plane, we have pulley, we have wedge, and we have wheel and axle. Then we went ahead to talk about 5 different types of simple machines and their examples. Thank you for listening. Do not forget to attempt your quiz and, of course, do your assignments. Keep making me proud and see you in my next class. Bye.